Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Excuse me. I'm going to counter this video. Christians don't know ish about the Bible, the subject of hell. Before I go into this, I didn't watch this video. That boy Will. It says the title is "He Dragged Me by My Braids." No, is that it? No, that's not it. That's not it. This is it right here. I'm sorry. Candace Owens, when she's bugged out in the fucking head, exposes Ella Beans, high divorce and violent rates. Yeah, because it's against nature. As I'm gonna get into my main subject. It's just kind of like a side subject. And part of my title too is all 99% of all sisters, so-called black women, belonging in an insane asylum. You know? So anyway, I don't even have to watch this video right here. You know, you got you got women that they're not built to make up their own mind. They're not built to be critical thinkers. Their job is to please their man. That's it. When you got a woman that deals with another woman, she's in another woman, the only remedy to that is, you know, put them in the dirt. See, that's why this country, that's why this system, the missiles can't come soon enough. And let's think that great leader, Trump, King Donald Trump, for being in office to push this thing. He's making this. See, a lot of you Jakes are mad. First of all, you Mexicans, you Latin tribes, you should be happy because he's pushing you out of America so those missiles won't get you. So he's helping you. You should applaud the man. You Haitians, they don't push you out of America. Don't you know you're getting put? The Most High is causing you to get pushed out so you don't eat these missiles. America's going to be destroyed, utterly destroyed, and she shall utterly be burned with fire. For strong is the Lord that judges her. I'm merely paraphrasing Revelation 18, one of my favorite prophetic scriptures. And we here at GMS, and you got other groups that don't really push it. You know, we're known as GPT says. GMS is known for heavy, how do they say it, emphasis on prophecy. So anyway, I see this right here. Trump threatens Elon Musk as feud explodes. Yeah, this guy, Trump, he you know, if you got a room full of boring people or whatever, you got a dinner party, put Trump in there. Now all of a sudden that turns into the house of madness. And the Most High is dealing with Trump. The Most High did choose Trump. He set him up to be the leader. What does, matter of fact, I'll go to it. I'll read it in the King James. And I'm going to get in the main subject of hell. Where does a woman belong when she reaches a certain age? Pursuant to the law, pursuant to the Mosaic law, she's to be given to a man by her father. Her father makes the decision. Or she's to be sold. A Hebrew man can sell his Hebrew daughter to another Hebrew man, and that Hebrew man that purchases the Hebrew daughter can make her a servant for life, a maid, a handmaid, or he can decide that's going to be my woman, whether she likes it or not. She has no say in the matter. Or he can say, you know what, this woman would be a good wife for my son, and she has no say in the matter. Outside of that, you women are completely out of order. You're completely out of order. You know. That's why we tell you women, don't be coming on pages asking questions and putting, other than saying shalom, great video. That's all I want to hear. Unless you truly, sincerely have a sincere question, you don't have no man. In that case, you can ask. But that should you ask a question as many times as Haley's comic shoots by. Anyway. Where was I going to go? I'm all over the place. I went to Revelation. There was another one I wanted to go into that I said I was going to go into the NLT. Anyway, you know what? Let me come back over here. Come back over here. Bear with me for a minute. Come on, man. Bear with me for a minute. I'm trying to find this. Okay. I was a little all over the place. Anyway. Like this right here, I gotta watch this video. He dragged me by my braids. My husband asked for an open marriage, and this happened. That nigga that asked for wants an open marriage, he should get a, he should get his brains beat in. That's why the Most High. That's why the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is going to take these Negroes out. Anyway, I was a little all over the place. So I was watching this video, and it prompted me to do my own video. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. And this is from the book Paradise Lost, where you boneheaded, idiot-ass Christians believe that there's an actual eternal hell that your spirit goes down into, and you suffer torment forever. And then you got Bishop Nate, and that shows you that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is not dealing with Bishop Nate. He's just out there like Colonel Walter E. Kirks from Apocalypse Now. He's just doing his own thing. And his followers are pretty much like those bug outs on that island that Walter was he Colonel? He was a colonel, I believe his rank was Colonel Walter E. Kirks, and they had to send somebody. What's his name? Martin Sheen. They sent him to assassinate this dude. They said, proceed, when you encounter this man, proceed with extreme prejudice. Extreme prejudice meaning he can't tell you nothing. He can't say, oh, I went off, I'm ready to change. Just eliminate him. All right? And that happened in wars. Certain people got eliminated. A frag, they call it. Anyway, it says better to, this was put up by GMS. Amma 1 Ibad 144. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and be edified. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Book Paradise Lost, written by John Milton. This was in the 1600s, which he covers that in the in this video, and he goes to chat. And a lot of brothers is going to chat now. I don't know if he's been going to chat, but I've been going to chat, and chat's been pretty much, for the most part, on point. Especially like when you put in GMS, IUIC, ICPK, they'll tell you, give you a background, and it says concerning GMS, it says they're known for their street preaching and heavy emphasis on prophecy. The mother camps are not known for that, even though they go into prophecy too. Bishop Nate does go. The IUICD do go into prophecy, so they should have. I believe they should have put that in there. But see, when you do that extra shit, when they put the information on you, the dossier on you, they're gonna. They march down the street. They do this. They're known for that. They're known for this. You want to be known for prophecies, bro. You want to be known for being on the corners teaching. Then they said, ChatGPT says that the other camps kind of distance themselves from GMS because of the grape doctrine. Which, if they read the scriptures like scholars and not like Christians, they would see it. See, Christianity is based upon emotion. And I believe, I'm just putting this out there, I believe Vocab Malone is suffering from cancer. I believe it might be throat cancer. I believe the Most High gonna, but we'll see. I heard him, his voice didn't sound right. Maybe he had a cold. I don't know. But he's quite big. He kind of looked like Colonel Walter E. Kirk. He was fat. So he's all, his head is, this is destroying him. This coming against the Israelites is, it's destroying you. It's breaking you down, man. Anyway. So he went to the chat in this video. I got to watch the rest of this video. So I went to it myself. And I knew about this. This is the whole concept. The whole concept of the Christian hell is from this book, Paradise Lost, which is a poem, or a book. It has nothing to do with. Anyway, Satan says he rather rule in heaven than to serve in hell. That's why he had that rebellion again, which never happened. That's nowhere in the scriptures. That's nowhere in the scriptures. But anyway, so you can watch this video. So let me do this. So I put in, is hell an actual place according to the Bible? The Bible presents hell as a real destination, but how literal or physical that place is depends on interpretation. Here's a breakdown of how hell is portrayed in the Bible. So this is what the chat is saying. Old Testament concept. And by the way, there's no such thing as an eternal hell. When you look up the word, when you do a word search in the scripture, in the Bible, mainly we're dealing with King James. When you look up the word hell, Old Testament, the word translates into the word She'al or Sha'awal, which is in the Hebrew for grave or pit. New Testament, when you come across the word hell, for the most part, the word there is Hades or Hades, which pretty much means the grave or the pit or tomb where you put dead bodies in. So let's see what the chat says. She'al often, give me a second. Where the hell's my cursor at? She'al often translated as the grave. That's exactly what it means, the grave. Or the realm of the dead. The realm of the dead is in the grave. It's a shadowy place where all the dead go. Yeah, it's a grave, not necessarily a place of punishment. So chat is on point. Not necessarily a place of punishment. Read Job 3. Matter of fact, let me go to that. Let me carry this over. This is why we don't even talk to Christians. They're totally not on our level. Completely not on our level. And furthermore, they need us. We don't need them. You wasted your time going to Pam's church. The hell? Give me a second here. Let me do this. Come on already. Bear me for a minute here. I gotta start cutting out these tabs. Just hold on tight. Anyway, in that book, the book Paradise Lost, this is where they got the whole concept of the eternal hell that you're tormented in, and they take certain scriptures and tormented day and night. Oh, that's talking about hell. Which is all BS. Like I said, that's why we don't deal with them. We don't need to deal with them. Waiting for this thing to come up. Them, period. Christians. And they don't know, they're limited. They know nothing about prophecy. Vocab knows absolutely zero about prophecy. Because whatever theological cemetery he went to for however how many years, they didn't teach him that because they don't know prophecy. Just waiting until this thing pops up. Yeah, but chat GPT is for the most part they've been on point. They go off, but they're pretty much on point. So I'm going to continue to go to the chat just to see what they say. Just like I go to Google, get certain information, research certain information from Google. Sometimes I go directly to the chat. And we filter everything to the script through the Bible, through the scriptures, of course. Okay, this thing is acting up. Like you see here, Bible Hub. I came across this site, Bible Hub, some years back. Now you got other brothers using it, people. They use it. I know Nate does. He uses the Bible Hub because he said, go to the Bible Hub. Where do you think he got that from? He got that from me. He said, man, I'll be using that Bible Hub. I'm going to go to the Bible Hub myself. Come on now. I'm going to try something. Wait a minute. Something looks like it's happening. Let me X this out. Bring this back up. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay. Just let this pop come up. That's what I freaking hate. I'm gonna go another route. I'm gonna come back over to the chat. Damn it. Okay. Think I'm back. Is hell an actual place according to the Bible? The Bible presents hell as a real destination, but how literal or physical that place is depends on interpretation. Here's a breakdown of how hell is portrayed in the Bible. Old Testament concept, Sheol, often translated as grave or realm of the dead. It's a shadowy place where all the dead go. That's a grave, not necessarily a place of punishment, because that's a grave. Psalm 16:10. That's King David. I believe that's a precept. It's got to be. That you should not leave my soul in hell. Not leave me in hell. He's talking about Yahweh Shai. Peter explained that in Acts 2, Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10. Sheol is not described as in fiery or tormenting terms. It's more about death and separation from life. Exactly, which is the dead. Somebody's dead, you got to put them in the ground. And the spirit goes up, the spirit of man, it goes upward to the Father. All spirits, Edomites that die, they go into the spiritual realm. And they get dealt with when they come back in the physical realm, in the form of reincarnation. That's another thing that Christians can't accept is reincarnation. Because the Lord, the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, is not dealing with them. New Testament terms and teachings. Gehenna just means It's a Greek way of saying the Hebrew word, which means valley. Valley of Hinnom. So it's a compound word. It says this is the term. Now it says Jesus. We know this when you see Jesus, no such thing as no Jesus. Doesn't mean anything. Yahushua uses most often when referring to hell. Example given, Matthew 5 verse 22, Mark 9 verse 43. I believe it's 43rd verse, 44th, 46th verse. It mentions Gehenna. And what he was talking about was America. He was comparing the destruction of America to Gehenna, the valley of Hinnom, where was like a large pit. And I believe it was southern Jerusalem, or thereabout in Palestine. It was a large pit where you threw dead animals and refuse in there, and it would burn it. So there would be a smoke coming up. There'd be a smoke when the animals burn, the dead animals and so forth, bones or whatever, guts, and the fire would keep going up. So he compared the destruction of Babylon the Great to Gehenna. So he wasn't talking about a literal hell where it says in the place where the worm dieth not. There's a reason why it said where the worm dieth not. The what do you call it? The perimeter, the outer perimeter. Sometimes you had a piece of a leg of an animal, and you would have worms that would eat that leg. If the fire didn't get that animal, the fire got part of the animal, the worms would get the rest. So so the worms wouldn't go into the fire. Okay? It refers to a valley outside of Jerusalem. Just like I said, a valley is a lowland associated with fire and judgment. No, it's talking about fire. It was a garbage dump. And that shows you that you had smoke going up and it wasn't affecting the people. Because smoke and heat dissipates. It goes into the air, you know. And Yahushua's teaching, it becomes a metaphor for final judgment and separation from the Most High. The final judgment is when the Babylon the Great, which is the U.S., is utterly destroyed, and we believe it's going to happen during Trump's watch. He's gonna get the Russians mad at him because he's gonna do something to the people of Iran. The number one of the allies of Iran are the Russians, or the Russian government, and he's gonna get the NATO and the EU nations mad at him, and they're gonna all shoot missiles on this place because I believe because of Trump. Let's say the Most High next year, mid 2026. He takes this place out, and this man's still the president. That means this man's gonna usher in the destruction. And let's hope it happens at the end of the year, beginning of next year, because we tired of this goddamn place. But he's moving, right? It says metaphor for final judgment. That final judgment is Babylon the Great. When you go to Matthew 10. What is that? The 15th verse around there? 14th verse, I believe. It says, shake off the dust. It'll be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah than for that city or that town. Meaning, the people that 2,000 plus years ago, when the people, the Israelites that rejected what the apostles or the disciples told them, that their spirit is going to be right here. Their body's going to be right here in America. So that all them wicked scribes and Pharisees, they're all here as pastors, ministers, and people that came against us. You got every Israelite that goes on TikTok that does a video talking bad about the Israelites. You're gonna die here in America by the missiles. You're gonna eat a missile. It's a metaphor for final judgment and separation from the Most High. Hades or Hades similar to Sheol. Sheol is Hebrew for pit. Hades or Hades is Greek for pit or grave. But in Greek, sometimes neutral, just the place of the dead. Right, just the place of the dead. Okay, now what came back to my mind was Job. That's what I wanted. Job. Let me see. Job 3. Okay, after this open Job's mouth and cursed his day, and Job spake and said, "Let the day perish." Like he said, he wished he was stillborn. He wished he was aborted. Let the day be. Let darkness and the shadow of death stain me. And the shadow of death is also talking about America. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. David was talking about America. Let a cloud dwell upon it. Let the blackness of the day terrify it. Let them curse it. They curse the day who are ready to raise up their mourning. Let the stars of the turn, because it shut down the mouth. Okay, because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb, nor did sorrow from mine eyes. Why died I not from the womb? I should have, miscarriage, they call it. Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out the belly? So you got infants that die, and then you sad. They happy. They don't got to deal with this hell. Most I got to prepare another body for them. Everything's reincarnated. Why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still, right? Stillborn, miscarriage, and been quiet. I should have slept, right? Because you're relaxing. Everybody that dies, including Esau, they up and they chilling, waiting for that new body. With the kings and councils of the earth, which build desolate places for themselves. The example of that is the Egyptian pharaohs. I'm trying to find. As infants which never saw light, there the wicked, that's Esau, cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. That's for anybody. So you don't die and go burn in hell. Like Nate says, oh, you're going to sleep for 1,000 years, then when you wake up, you're going to be pushing to hell. Nate should get some, he should be in a fucking insane asylum, because he's bugging the fuck out. Real talk. And he knows that the mark of the beast is a microchip. He just can't say it, because that might destroy his whole kingdom. He's going to have to admit it. Anyway, I want to just read that to show you that the wicked will not trouble you. So a guy that's in prison and he dies, he's in the spiritual realm. And when he comes back, if they killed him, the guards killed him, he going to come back and he going to kill him. He going to kill them and he going to enslave them if they're Edomites. It says Gehenna. This is the term Yahushua used most often when referring to hell. It refers to a valley outside Jerusalem. That's the actual place associated with fire and judgment. And in Yahushua's teaching, it becomes a metaphor for final judgment and separation from the Most High. The final judgment is when the missiles hit this place. Hades or Hades, similar to Sheol, but in Greek, sometimes neutral, just the place of the dead, sometimes more ominous, Luke 16:23, which is a parable. That's a parable. That's a parable right there. Rich man and Lazarus. Lake of fire, that's America. It's not, don't listen to them blockheads, from Genesis. That's an actual lake. There's an actual lake in the Middle East. Lake of fire. And the Most High is not dealing with them either. He gonna get them too. Lake of fire in Revelation. Example given, Revelation 20:14-15, or verses 14 and 15. It's described as the final destination of Satan. Satan meaning the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. This is back to the basics. His followers, anybody that follows this man that took the chip in America, they done. What does it mean to follow this man, Satan? Is to ultimately take his chip. That seals the deal. And the wicked are the people, Malachi 1, Edomites. This is likely the clearest biblical reference to what many imagine as hell, symbol or physical place. Literal view. Some Christians interpret hell as a literal place of eternal conscience torment. Yeah, because they don't know. And it's not. And there's no in the New Testament where it describes what hell is. When you die, you're going to burn in hell. Samuel told Saul that tomorrow at this time, the next day, you will be here with me. So people say that if you commit suicide, dumb Christians say if you commit suicide, you're going to hell. So that must mean that Samuel's in hell. No, Samuel's resting. He said, "Why waketh me from my rest?" Well, I'm just merely paraphrasing. Waketh me from my sleep. It tells you in Isaiah 57, from the first couple of verses. It said the righteous, when they die, they sleep in their beds. They're resting. So he said, you disquieted me from my rest. He said, tomorrow at this time you will be with me. Meaning what? You're going to be in the spiritual realm. You're going to go from the physical realm. You're going to kill yourself, and you're going to run into me in the spirit. That shows you that spirits in the spiritual realm know each other because they're really angels. Metaphorical view of the sea hell as a symbol for separation from the Most High, spiritual death, or the consequences of rejecting the Most High. And well, the Most High rejected Esau, so he rejected the seed of Esau. That's why you got Edomites trying to get in. Oh, it's not just for Israel, it's for the Gentiles. They're not thinking about the other nations. They think about Esau. That's what these jakes think about. They concerned about Esau. They come up, first of all, we're telling you that you're the Israelites. And you saying, well, what about the white man? It says annihilation view. Some traditions, example given, Seventh-day Adventists and the Jehovah's Witness, I know this for a fact because they told me, believe in annihilationism, that the wicked will simply cease to exist. No, they said that. They said, nah, there's no hell. You just don't exist no more. Your spirit. So they don't understand hell. They don't understand the spiritual realm. They don't understand reincarnation. It says, Yahweh's emphasis, Yahweh talked more about hell than most other Bible figures usually as a warning. Right, that hell that he was talking about Babylon the Great. But this what scholars say, no, all right, this can never be America. This can never, no, America's not Babylon. America's not Babylon the Great in Revelation. But his descriptions are often vivid and metaphorical. Example given, out of darkness, weeping and gnashing of teeth. Weeping and gnashing of teeth is going to take place when you see the missiles hitting, where everything goes dark, and you see that fire hit your ass. You're going to weep and gnash your teeth. And then you're gonna your spirit's gonna be separated from your body, because your body's gonna be burnt up, and you're going right in the spiritual realm. And then the next time you come back in the physical realm, if you're an Edomite, you're going right into captivity. And the super elite, the super rich, which you don't hear about, the super elite, they're going right into captivity. They don't got to die and come back and be born to stay. They're going right into captivity. All that riches they got, we taking all that shit. We taking it all. Summary. Is hell a real place according to the Bible? Yes, real in the sense of being a real consequence or state after judgment, whether it is a literal fiery location, which is talking about Babylon the Great, the U.S., or a spiritual condition, is debated and depends on theological interpretation, meaning they don't know what the hell they don't have. Like I said, the majority, I would say 99% of Christians will say that there's an actual hell, especially them stupid ass Edomite preachers. There's a hell, and then dumbass Jakes. There's an actual hell, and you're gonna burn in forever. Your spirit. I'll say, well, now wouldn't the Most High warn you about hell, so you can do the right thing, so you don't go to hell? Yes, of course. That's what the Bible's about. Okay, where in the Old Testament did the Most High ever mention that your spirit burns in hell forever? It's not mentioned in the scriptures at all. Anyway, come back over here. Here we go, right here. So when you get a chance, matter of fact, I was going to go to the chat, which I just did. What am I talking about? Paradise Lost I was going to go to the chat and go to the Paradise Lost, but it's right here. Paradise Lost is considered one of the greatest works in English literature. It's just a book, a novel, a poem. It explores themes of free will, obedience, rebellion, and redemption. Milton was blind when he dictated much of the poem, which adds to his historical significance. John Milton absolutely wrote Paradise Lost. Is he on record for quoting, "I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven"? And that was supposedly what Satan said, which is a story. It's just a story. Never happened. But Christians will tell you, Satan had a war. He took the righteous angels and he made them wicked, and he was going to fight against this war. And that's in Revelation 12. They don't understand the scriptures. Like I said, Christians fail when it comes to them prophecies. They don't. None of them. Not even the scholars. None of them know those prophecies like we know it. Anyway, because if they did, they would be telling Trump that we got to stop doing this because this place is Babylon. It's going to be destroyed, or tell them it's going to be destroyed anyway. There's nothing you can do. But what if we get another president in there? There's nothing they can get any. They can resurrect Abraham Lincoln to be president. This place is done. This is Babylon the Great in the book of Revelation. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next shalom.